you know, one of the things that I've been able to show, and this is why I've dubbed the ministry the Golden Ministry. This is a ministry no one wanted before because there was so many issues with it. There was so much frustration that they know they would have to deal with, and we're still dealing with them. There's still a case that a lot of the staff are not happy, they're not content, and as minister I focused on that. I focused on, let's complete what is necessary for the staff, and then we can move on to streamlining certain things. For example, we need to have a more streamlined structure in terms of ensuring that they have proper uniform. That acquisition of uniform is not something that is moving as smooth as we would want it to. Another thing that we notice when it comes to uniform is that when government has to make a purchase, the prices just seem to be way more higher than if an average person was coming, because there's this misconception that government has a lot of money, you know, but the consistency and standardization of acquiring uniform for staff is not the way that I feel like it should be. Hence the reason that I'm again vying to continue in this capacity, to be quite honest with you. It's no secret to anyone, of course, I would love the opportunity to continue in this capacity as Minister of Justice. This is why I'm on the slate, and I know we don't postulate ourselves to become ministers. We postulate ourselves for parliamentarian seat. So yes, I'm taking the trajectory as must, but ultimately I'd like to be able to continue what we've started, because I believe that we've now placed a new light and a new level of attraction to the Ministry of Justice. So quite contrary that it is not a ministry you can accomplish much. Plus, we are one of the most important ministries. We have the responsibility of security and protection of this country.
Yeah. I mean, when I said you don't accomplish much, it's not like the Ministry of Theatre or the Ministry of Romy,
so
where
it's not
people,
sexy.
No, where people see where people see things happening.
I still beg to differ.
They don't feel it.
I still beg to differ, because you know what, Jean-Marc, is, you know, when something goes wrong in this country, everybody points the finger at the Ministry of Justice, and there's and the fact is the Ministry of Justice really is, like you're saying, somewhat we are the tail end. It is when something goes awry, when something goes wrong, the Ministry of Justice has the responsibility to bring that law and order into play. However, we have so many positive aspects that we have to be able to provide as well, and I don't think that everyone yet sees that, and so I've worked to be able to highlight the ministry in a lot of positive ways as well, but in due time.
It's a ministry also, and when we go back throughout the 4 years, and you know, it's a ministry that had grievances. I mean, you had the police unions that was not contented with some of the decisions that you made. I mean, you are billed as the no-nonsense minister, and you stick to your guns. How did you maneuver around all those, and you seem to come out always victorious after, you know, all those grievances and unrests and
you know, thank you for that question. What I learned in this capacity is stick to the law. Stick to the laws and the policies as much as possible, because those are your safe zones. When you start to maneuver outside of those parameters, that is where it's like, but you did it for this one, so you could do it for me. Or you did, you know, and that is where you if you do not follow the legislative path, which is what we did, and you made reference to the unions, most of the back and forth with unions had to do with wanting this done and done now. Do it quickly, because that is the false impression that had been posed or brought forward by signing things ad hoc, creating this belief that, you know, especially something as a legal position could just be done on a ministerial decree, which is within the power and the signing authority of a minister solely. But when you're talking about a national decree of any level, national decree with general measures or a national decree, that is first the authority of the governor. And when we start to talk about the inclusion of the governor is not pushed, is not influenced, is not made scared to act quickly by any demonstration by anybody. So whilst unions would want, for example, one of the things that we have to understand about unionism, right, is that you need members. And so if you are a leadership of a union, you have to make your members feel like you're fighting for them, that you are making sure that everything that they are due to there to receive. The only thing that I see with that, which I applaud it, but I think that when you have to work with a minister and you see that that minister is working in the best interest of the staff, then you have to work along with the minister. And when you mention things like coming out victorious, at the end of the day, we have the CCSU platform, and that is a platform. The CCSU platform is for civil servants. So it's the civil service, how you say, it's the body that makes sure that everything is correct for civil servants.
Okay.
And they work with the social statute and all the laws, labor laws that govern the protection of. So when you get into that professional environment, all that is being done outside and all that is being said to the staff outside, it has to match up on that platform, because they're going to follow the rules. And so I'm going to stick with that. No problem. We can't agree on the external. Let's go into the CCSU and make a decision there.
Today marks a significant and momentous occasion as we gather here to sign the CLA between SLS and the WICUA Union. First and foremost, I want to express my sincere gratitude to those who are closely involved in the negotiation process, which includes Daniela, as representing as the shop steward, the WICUA Union Board, and not all of you are here, but the entire board, of course, Lana and Moshe. This achievement was only made possible with your dedication, your commitment, and your professionalism, while having the best interests of SLS employees and SLS company at the forefront. We had many meetings, heavy discussions, long nights, which brought us to this celebratory day today. The spirit of cooperation and open communication that characterized our discussions was a shining example of what can be accomplished when we work together towards a common goal. This new CLA is more than a document. It reflects our shared values and a commitment to fostering a positive and supportive work environment for the future of SLS. The CLA also outlines the terms and conditions that will guide our interactions and collaborations, ensuring fairness, transparency, and mutual respect for all. As we embark on this new chapter, let us remember that our shared success is dependent, again, open communication, trust, and a commitment to continuous improvement. By working hand in hand, we can overcome challenges, we can celebrate successes, and create a workplace that we all are proud to be part of. In closing, the Supervisory Board of SLS and SLS management understands that its greatest asset is you, our SLS staff. Once again, on behalf of the board and management, thank you to everyone who played a part in shaping this agreement, and let us move forward together into a future shared with mutual respect.
Management team, staff, members of SLS, as Sharina said it all, we had long hours, long nights, days, and a lot of discussions, some of them very hefty, but at the end of the day, we all came to this CLA, the agreement that we are here to sign today. Let's continue to work together in the best interest of both parties, SLS and the staff. And as Brunilla always said, we always have to look out for the goose that lays the golden egg. Without SLS, you wouldn't have a job, and without you guys, there would be no SLS. Congratulations.
Daniela, I salute you. You start from day one, and together we here, right? We walk, sometimes we laugh, sometimes we wasn't so nice, but we walked and we came to a final. Look, I said just now, this belongs to you all. It don't belongs to we, okay? So you all use it the right way. And this ain't a one-man island. It's all of you and management. And I'm proud of y'all. I got to know y'all. And Sharina, the door open. And let's keep it open. Okay? So you know the number, right?
I sure do.
And I know the door here. I know this door. So together, we going to make this work. It's not going to be a party every time. But right now, we learn to agree, right? And we know how to disagree.
Agreed.
Okay?
Yes.
We know that.
Once again, thanks to everyone. And then we get the serious part out of the way. So now is the celebratory part. So congratulations to each and every one of you. Thank you. Cheers. Cheers.
At RBC, we know the roles you have to play can change quickly. Whether it's a homeowner, a new parent, today's head chef, or the family chauffeur. Whatever life asks you to be, RBC is a bank for all of you.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXM, yeah. Your social and health insurances.
Prime Minister, it's been reported that Telem is in the process of reorganizing. Can you shed some light as to how many employees of the telephone company will be affected due to the reorganization that is to take place?
I have seen some circulation of information that, based on Telem's updates, were internal discussions that they were having as management with the unions moving forward. I know we've made announcements that Telem is downsizing based on the change of their business model, moving towards more a data services company, seeing that most of the services that we're using from Telem, mobile is going down, landlines are going down in income, and to be able to sustain it, they have to be able to pivot and go towards the type of business that will generate the funds. So the first phase was offering an early retirement plan, and they're now in the discussions with the unions as to what the other phases will entail. I would then like to leave it at that for now, because it's still very much in the internal discussion platform, and I believe that what we as shareholder have to do is we will get the updates from the company as they progress in their discussions with the union. But what's taking place at this moment is purely a management and unions discussion, and government is not involved in that. So as soon as I have an update as to the progress of that, then I will be able to come to you as well on it. And I was also in further discussion and updates from them told that there's a lot of politicizing of whatever is going on in Telem, what has been going on in Telem. It is political season, as you know, and I have asked them to be as transparent as possible with their employees as well as the public in terms of the way forward, and that is for all government-owned companies. Especially after having done our corporate governance training, we are ensuring that we stay in our lane. We have to hold them accountable, but we await the information to be able to do so from the supervisory board and management of all government-owned companies in terms of their operations. We cannot get into the day-to-day running of the company. That is solely a management authority.
Why do you think that the athlete doesn't get the support that they need from government?
I think there's a misconception that athletes don't get the support from government. I'll use, for example, as a national team coach, whenever we travel, government plays a role in us traveling. Whenever,
of course.
Whenever
it has to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, it has to start somewhere. And whenever we host tournaments, government plays a role. My younger brother, Daniel, is currently in the Dominican Republic in a baseball academy. And he actually, I won't say take advantage, but he used the policy where, as a professional athlete, you can actually request help from government that would help you as far as paying meal plans, paying coaches. So there are a lot of things that government are doing that actually helps athletes, but I think in some cases people are unaware of them. So maybe if anything, we can be more vocal and actually making people more aware. For example, NSI, the National Sports Institute, there is a program there where if you have a coaching program, if you present the program, you can actually get stipends for your coaches. And these, again, these are things that I think we need to do a better job of making the public aware of them.
Okay. No, because you run into parents at times, and then they say they have this gifted athlete, but they went to get assistance, and you know they're not. Government isn't helping them, and how do they expect people to move to become better if government isn't there to help? And I think it's a 50-50 thing.
I think it's. I won't say 50-50. I think it's like more like a 33.333, whereas the business community also plays a role. So it's the parents, the business community and government. I think we all have to come together. I think where government can, and we'll see that in the future, I think where government can really make a difference is giving businesses more incentive to actually invest into our sports. So once we go that route, then the businesses are going to be more willing to invest. One of the things you see in Curacao is that a lot of the teams are owned by business owners, so they're more willing to invest.
Yeah.
And in order for us to get that progress going, I think that's one of the ways. But again, the general population, I've been pushing this idea of everyone giving back $12 to whatever institution you are part of. So if you went to MPC, give back $12 to MPC, and that's just for the year. So $1 for every month. And the principle is that if you get 5,000 people to give back, that's $60,000 that institution would have to invest in itself.
Nice.
So that's something that I've been really pushing, the idea. It's, for example, if you go to the club and buy a drink, it could cost you $12. So just skip out one drink and make that investment back into your community.
Yeah. Do you think the community comes on board?
I hope they will.
They're not currently doing so, though.
Well, it's something new that I'm pushing out there, and I hope that it gains traction.
Yeah. All right.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXV, yeah, your social health insurances.
At RBC, we know the roles you have to play can change quickly. Whether it's a homeowner, a new parent, today's head chef, or the family chauffeur. Whatever life asks you to be. RBC is a bank for all of you.
On the heels of a symposium held at the University of St. Martin, it was agreed upon that the AXA report will be presented to the Council of Ministers sometime in January. Have you been able to get insights into the report? If yes, can you at least furnish us with some information as it pertains to that?
I know that you are one of the, actually few, which is great, that have shown interest in the actions of the AXAR committee. They've held several sessions over the past 2 weeks. I wasn't able to personally attend what was done last week. I know it was very, very interesting, but conflicting schedules didn't allow me to be an active participant. And that is why I'm so happy that the committee, the AXAR committee, is so driven, so committed to carrying out the mandate that was given to them by the Council of Ministers, which is to prepare a document for us so that we can decide on the way forward. What we received already was a very preliminary overview of what the different subcommittees within AXAR is doing. So each committee member literally has like a subcommittee carrying out studies, and I was able to take part at least in that first meeting where they share that information with the public at the USM, where community members, active persons within the community, were able to bring forward suggestions. So they had different posters stuck around the room and sticky notes that ideas could be written on, and AXAR has taken that up. And the symposium last week, from what I understand, was a very successful one. I have not received any preliminary updates as yet, but I am just as excited as you, Stephen, to get that information so that we can move forward in addressing the reparations that are due to St. Martin in a manner in which it is beneficial to our development, seeing that we have been left behind in development after the colonizers left our shores, and the obligation they have to ensure that St. Martin is on par. So I'll couple that, you didn't ask that question, with so many out there talking about what can be done in government, what cannot be done in government. Everything is a process, and all decisions made in government must be based on research, on data, and to build the policy and the legislation. And so in this is no different. We must be able to ascertain what we're already doing, what is the Netherlands responsible to recover on this island, and though we have access to some funding in the Netherlands, we definitely want to go towards a complete debt cancellation and a discussion on how many funds would be available for us as a result of the reparations discussion. So I am with eager eyes awaiting the report that will be coming in January, and as soon as we have that, we will be sharing that information with the media, having presentations and the like, because what I'm hearing on the ground as well, in many ways we have been disseminating information via DCOM's page. We call out all the different social media handles, we share to all the media houses, and have a press briefing every Wednesday. PM Talks is also not as often as it used to be, but quite often still bring out information, and still people are not in the know. So I really would like to get some feedback from the people of St. Martin in how do you want your information disseminated, because we're trying our best, and yet I'm still getting an impression that most people are not informed on what is going on, are not going to our website to get more information, and I encourage you to do so. So I wait to hear from you how we can improve communicating the works of government, the activities of government, and the services available to you so that we can give better service.
The flight touched down around 10:15 and was met on the tarmac by a number of government and tourism officials. Among them, Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Trade and Business, Sandra Husbands. And after assisting in cutting the ribbon to welcome the new airline, she told the gathering Barbados is limited by land size, population and resources, and working with others is very important. She hailed today as an important day for Suriname, Guyana and Barbados.
The advent of Suriname Airways is a vital part of what we are doing here together. And what is it we're doing? We're not sitting belly aching about all the other people who won't give us connectivity. We are looking at what we have in the region. What are the airlines that are available to us, and how can we redeploy them in a way to ensure that we're able to build the connectivity that will give us the trade and the tourism which we need to be able to give our people a good life. And that is why today is a wonderful moment.
Suriname's Minister of Economic Affairs, Rashma Kuldip Singh, said as members of CARICOM, Suriname and Barbados enjoys a long relationship, and today's exercise is another step to solidify that relationship.
With this inaugural flight from our national carrier Suriname Airways SLM, we are taking steps forward in our commitment to strengthen the bilateral trade relations with Barbados. Both countries have committed to a list of products that can enter the respective markets of Barbados and Suriname. Suriname is grateful for the efforts made by Barbados to facilitate this inaugural flight as we move forward with our bilateral relations as a beacon of regional integration and cooperation to manifest sustainable economic growth for our respective countries and the region as a whole.
Acting Chief Executive Officer of Suriname Airways, Captain Steven Ganesh, said today marks the beginning of lots of opportunities for the countries and the strengthening of other travel initiatives.
Suriname Airways is, with its almost 62 years of existence, amongst the oldest airlines in the region. This brings with it enormous experience, but also lots of challenges behind us. and many more challenges to come. But all these challenges we face with a positive spirit. This new route, which was a request out of Barbados, but also on the planning for Suriname Airways, is another important step to promote the CARICOM spirit, create better connectivity and cooperation.
Acting Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Tourism Marketing Incorporated, Craig Hines, spoke of the itinerary of the new service.
Starting from today, December the 20th, 2023, Suriname Airways will operate 2 flights a week, offering convenient connections on Wednesdays and Sundays. This flight will create connections between Barbados, Suriname, Guyana, and, as we haven't mentioned before, Latin America. The aircraft of choice for this exciting venture is a Boeing 737-800, equipped with 12 business, 42 premium economy, and 96 economy seats. This modern and comfortable aircraft will ensure a pleasurable journey for all our visitors, in both directions.
Local agriculture is expected to benefit greatly from the new air service. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.